I love this book of recipes. This is Elvis's favorite recipes, and it's just pictures of Elvis looking longingly at this food he loves. And it even goes as far as having the recipe and step-by-step instructions on making his whole wedding cake. We're here for this guy though. There's no picture of the food, just the party you could be having if you made it. Elvis Presley's favorite pineapple upside down cake. I started out with this pie dish I use for everything, 1/3 of a cup of melted butter, swirl it up the sides a little higher than I did, watch the end of the video to find out why, and then you just want to mix in 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, just distribute it evenly on top. And then it calls for a 20-ounce can of pineapple rings. I just had 2 little cans. You need about 7 rings, whatever it works out for you. And then you need maraschino cherries. You want to throw those in all the little holes, all the little crevices. I could have got more around the center one. I missed that one on the top right, but it was a blind spot. I got it later on. Now you can do this by hand or electric mixer. I used my stand mixer. You need 1/3 of a cup of melted butter and 1/2 of a cup of sugar. You want to cream that together like you're making cookies. Let that go until it's nice and creamy. I could have gone a little more there. And then 2 egg yolks. You want to have those whites set aside in a bowl. So now you can take a lemon and zest the rind. You need about a teaspoon of that. You don't need too much. And then squeeze out about a tablespoon's worth of the juice. Throw all of that in and then add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you can just start up the mixer again, let it go for a bit. Scrape down the sides when you need to, just to make sure everything's mixed in, and get it all together. It'll be nice and creamy when it's ready. In a separate bowl, you can now mix 1.5 cups of flour, 1 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and mix that all together beforehand. And this next part is going to need some imagination because I didn't realize my camera wasn't filming until editing, but you want to take 1/4 cup of sour cream, dump it in, and then 1/3 of your dry mixture, and then another 1/4 cup of sour cream, another 1/3 of your dry mixture, and then I did about 3 tablespoons of pineapple juice before the rest of that dry mixture till it looked like this. It's still pretty thick, not very spreadable, but that's where those 2 egg whites that we set aside, we're gonna beat those until they're about soft peaks. Once they reach the soft peak stage, we can slowly stream in 1/4 cup of sugar. Stream that in slowly until you get to the solid stiff peaks stage. For whatever reason, this part felt like it took forever, but eventually, with a lot of mixing, we got to the stiff peak stage. And now we're ready to fold in that egg white mixture. I did mine a few scoops at a time. You can just dump it all in if that's how you want to do it, but you're just taking care to fold it all in gently, making sure you're not knocking too much of that air out until it's all come together and it's creamy and it is able to spread on top of the awaiting sugar and fruit mixture. Get that all spread on top, make sure it's evenly distributed, pick it up, tap it against your counter a few times so it gets into those hard to reach places, and then throw it into your awaiting 350-degree oven. Bake for about 35 minutes or until the middle can spring back when touched, and turn it over onto your cutting board. And this is why you want to grease those sides. I should have ran a knife around it, and by the time I realized that, it had come out enough that I wasn't going to get it back over, so tried to push through it, and a little bit popped out. I was pretty mad at this point, but I realized that there we go. You cannot even tell that happened. And there you go. Forget that stupid cake. We'll just cut out a slice. I just cut around one of these pineapple rings. It seemed appropriate. Pulled it out, and it looked amazing. This cake was soft and velvety, and I went in for that taste test and just mowed it all down. It was so good. Even suspending the idea that these are actually Elvis's favorite recipes rather than just a cookbook full of southern recipes with his face plastered all over it. It was still a very good pineapple upside down cake. Brought it out to my grandma's house. We both ate it, enjoyed it. You know, make it for your grandma, and then like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.